There's the rental. So we're starting a new laser install this week, and we're here at let's call it Decorative Paper Co. in San Diego, California. And yeah, so we're doing a install for a biotech or let's say life sciences company, we'll call it that. And they've got some funding for a new venture and got some approval for some equipment, and initially are going to be making one product. And so a little bit later in this video, once we get this stuff all up and running, we will show you that product. You guys may remember seeing this machine a couple of videos back. It was in my shop. I did a complete walkthrough on it and then got it decommissioned and got it out here to California. And you see they've already customized it a little bit. So just now getting started unpacking everything. These guys have already done some of the assembly. They went ahead and got the monitor mounted, but we got to pull that back apart because there's some wires inside the machine that come through there. So we got to do that and just pull the side cover off. We got the Max Photonics power source mounted in here, and this is 1500 watt, and there's the head. Ori has started shipping these with the head assembled already to the fiber cable, and you see that's taped up right there. This electrical tape is recommended from the manufacturer once you make the connection from the laser source to the head. This is a very sensitive, critical area. You don't want any dust getting in there. And so when you take that apart, you introduce the possibility for dust getting in it. So when they test it in the factory, they just disconnect it all, leave it all as one unit. And so we got to run the head out through that connection right, or this opening right here. And this channel right here is made for the fiber cable, and it loops and comes down into that and then through the cable track. So we're going to get all the covers pulled off, cable track pulled off, and get some of the front end part of it here connected. We got some of our cables coming through, assist gas and water connections and height sensor, autofocus servo, all that stuff. We'll get all that situated and get going. So we'll come back here in a little bit as we make some progress and show you the progress that we make. I'll show you this real quick, kind of cool. All the fiber laser machines, import machines, come with these travel limiters here that are physical stops, and they're at every point on the machine. You see the ones that are supposed to be right here. So what Ori does is removes them, and they drill and tap extra holes in the gantry and on the side rails, and they move them up there to keep keep stuff from moving around during shipping without putting straps or anything else. So pretty neat. Just have your CNC program that does the bridge milling, drill and tap a couple extra holes in the right spots, and easy peasy. All right, guys. And this was a couple of weeks back, the hot shot driver leaving my shop with the laser and the press brake on there. So you see he's got a 40-foot gooseneck and dual tandem set up there. He did tarp it after he got pulled out.
And then that's it.
All right, so here is the laser head all mounted and everything all connected and all that. So right here is the height sensing control, and you've got this little connection box here and a little cable that actually makes the connection down to the nozzle, which we don't have installed yet, but that's the ceramic right there. And then these are the autofocus servo connections, and this is the autofocus servo position, showing you it's at the 0 focus. So as you change the focus in the software, it should match it right here. And then other than that, the rest of it is just water and gas. So basically you have water coming in the entry point here, and then it exits on this side and comes down and enters back there, and then exits and then comes down. You see what it's doing. It's entering and exiting different parts of the head to get coolant flowing. And then at the bottom here, it goes back up and back out to the return to the chiller. And then this is the main gas line, and that connects there. But we're gonna purge it for a little while first before we put it in there. And here's a little look of filling the press brake up with hydraulic fluid. We're putting about 45 gallons of number 46 fluid in this one, and mainly right now we're waiting on the electrical to get finished up. This is the morning of day 2 actually, and we got the electrician doing the final finishing, putting the touches on, and then hopefully here in 2 or 3 hours we'll be firing it up. So we're going to show you it running in the next video, but I'm going to walk around here now and show you a little about the electrical stuff. And a lot of guys ask about this, and so we'll take a look at what we got going on for this one. All right, so as I said, I'm going to give you a little walkthrough on the video here of the electrical setup. So I order all the machines I get, in advance, unless I'm ordering it specifically for a customer and I know their voltage. I get them all with 240 volt 3-phase. So obviously across the country, we have a lot of 208 3-phase. We got a lot of 220. We got a lot of 240, some 277. It ranges the gamut. We got some 480 out there. So this is kind of what they're putting together here. And we got Joe here wrapping up and making the final connections on everything, but I thought I'd just give you guys a walkthrough on, how the connections are made and the devices and all that. So as I said, we're normally I order everything with 240 volt, and I keep extra transformers on hand. This is a 208 transformer. So we're coming out of the wall and into the actual machine right here with 208. And then this transformer output is 380 out. So we're coming out of the transformer and into the stabilizer with 380 volt. And then the machine output, which is right here, connects to the output of the, machine input connects to the output of the stabilizer. And then on this one, this is 1500 watts. So this is a 220 volt single phase chiller. And the laser source, 1500 watt, is also 220 volt single phase. These two right here, these two sets of connections will go to the output of the transformer, and they're going to catch, if you look at the wiring on them, the labels, we got L1, neutral, and PE. So we're going to catch L1 is going to go to one leg of the 3-phase, and then PE is ground, protective earth, and then neutral. We generate a neutral out of the transformer right here. You can see this 0 volt, that's the neutral. And then it's the input and the output of the stabilizer. So anyway, guys, that's a little overview of the electrical, and want to just give you a heads up on that. Gonna get out of Joe's way, let him get it all going. All right, so same thing on the press brake. Again, I'm ordering stuff in advance, so you're thinking about contacting me to buy a machine or whatever. I've thought about you well before you decided to order your machine. And so I got this machine, well in advance of these guys here in San Diego buying it from me. And I got it with 240 volt, but I also ordered at one point, Grace from Prima, I put an order in for several of these transformers in different configuration, and they're little small press brake transformers. And this is a 208 to 240 volt. I've got 480 volt to 240. I've got 460, 220. I've got all the configurations needed. So we just mount this right inside the cabinet and bring our 208 in and our 240 out and connect it into the actual press brake, and we are good to go. Yeah, so I'm in this business park, and you can see right here we're at Ballast Point Brewery, and you see the brewery silos right there. And then where I'm working is down near the end down there. But check this out, this business park, lots of machining and fabrication stuff going on. I was just walking down through here a second ago, and gosh darn it, man, this weather in California, it's I come here 3 or 4 times a year, and you can say what you want to about the problems in California, but the weather is just unreal. Now right now in Texas the weather is very similar, but they get this all the time. And you see we got a nice little line of Haas machines in there. And so anyway, guys, I will bring you back tomorrow on day 2. We'll have this bad boy cutting and bending, and we'll show you some cool stuff.